Good morning, traders. Welcome to our daily webinar. This webinar will be shared. This is our group daily webinar that I do every single morning for my group so that they can have an update and a view of what I see for the day, and they will use this in their trading and in the trading room, right? I'm giving it away free for the last 3 weeks, and I will continue to do so for one more week. If you like the analysis we do, if you understand the way we look at wave analysis, then and you would like to join us, you can join us anytime. Just send me a Skype message for information on how to join us and the conditions to join us. So type the Skype is MANGAL 457. Send me a message, say you're interested in joining us. I will give you the details on how you can join us. Why I'm not telling you that there is a course I'm selling or all of that, because we don't really sell courses. It's not about selling courses. Of course, there is a training course. And of course, you would have to take the training course to get access to the group. But this is not about selling courses, because we don't have basic course, platinum courses, and all those different courses you'll find everywhere. What we have is a group of professional traders trading together. Every day we get together and we trade more than once a day. 3, 4, 5 times a day we get through in each session and we discuss trades and we trade together. I join the group very often, as much as I can, sometimes 3 times a day, sometimes at least one times a day I'm there, at least one time. And I do this daily webinar. Sometimes I'm there 5 times a day, depending on the availability of my time, right? So what the group is about is something I get a lot of questions from people. The group is about professional traders trading together. For you to join us, you would have to complete a training course, a 6 weeks training course. 3 weeks out of that 6 weeks is actually practical session for you, which is you get to show your screen and show the trainer, the person who will be training you in the practice session, which is going to be one of my top traders, what you do and how you do, how you see what we have just taught you, because there are going to be 3 weeks of theoretical videos you're getting, live videos, not videos where we pre-recorded and give you. Those live videos are recorded for you to watch again if you want. But they're live for every single course, and every single course they're update to those courses. Nothing is static, nothing stays the same. So as new knowledge comes up, as new things comes up, the way we look at it, the way we discuss strategy. The last course I had an entire new video on money management, which I promised to give everybody, and I will do so. So at the end of the 2 weeks, at the end of all the free webinars, that's the last thing you will get. Then I will continue to do webinars once or twice a week, right? So we do update all this stuff. We update how we look at patterns sometimes. Is there a change in some of these patterns, or these patterns behaving the same way? All of that we continue to discuss, and all of that is in the new course. I continuously talk to my traders, find out where they have weakness. And based on that, I will probably do an entire new class in the new course coming up. So join us and you get access to all of that for life. You only pay once and you get access for everything for life, which means complimentary, free access to the group 24/7 for the rest of your life. Because we need to train you. If I give you all the materials I recorded, you would never become a successful trader using it. We have to make sure that you can implement it correctly, which means you're going to practice in it. And then we have to guide you. And then you need to be among the traders who are trading, so you can show them what you're about to do. And they will tell you, hey, that's a great idea, or that's a bad idea. And they will tell you why. So that is what our group is about. For all those who are asking, what is the group about? You keep talking about group, but not about courses, because we're not focused on selling courses. So you want to join us? You're welcome. All the extras you're going to get by being in the course, I'm not going to discuss today. There are a lot of them you're going to get extras by being in the course. That's for the next day. So today, enough of what we do and who we are. Join us if you want. Send me a Skype message and you will get all the details on how to join us. Let's go. Dollar index. Let's start with the dollar index. Dollar index, like I said yesterday, it could still go back a little more, but even if it continues to go a little more, we still cannot confirm that it is on a daily up move. This move is going up, but we can't confirm that this is a daily up move, especially since it's not going up very aggressively. Which means at any point in time, if you buy, like I said yesterday, if you're going to buy this, you better take your profit up once the impulse is completed. So you would have to close that trade here if you bought. If you didn't buy, that's no problem. That's not the biggest move in the market. If we get a sell set up here today, we will sell it. If we get a sell set up, we will sell it, because 1 week it could do this move, or 2, it could totally drop. Those are the two scenarios on the two possible patterns. Do we have a buy setup here today? Well, I'm not looking for a buy at this point, because this is a sharp move down and I don't see the buy setup there. If they make this into consolidation, which means if this stays here longer to something like that, yes, we would look for something like this, for example. Something like this, for example, right? If we get something like this, for example, I would look for a buy setup. Right now, there is no buy setup in that thing. Right? There is no buy setup. It's literally just going sideways. It could make a sell setup very fast. This could very quick become a flag, and then we will get a sell setup. If we get the sell, we'll take it. If we get the buy, we'll consider it. Right? Silver, I told you watch the top. It's not going to happen. It's likely going to come back down. Every time they get to the top, I told you we expect if it come back, it's going to come back to this. It's also not going to come in one straight line. So what we're doing is we're expecting a running flat in play here. And that means yesterday, you saw that yesterday, some of my traders sold it, and they were told that if you sell it, it drops, take profit, because there's a likelihood that this would correct itself again, right? So we still have this one that we're not sure what it is. Like some of my traders are going for a contracting flat. It could be a contracting flat. And I most likely think it is a contracting flat, because this move down is sharp. Contracting flats are the worst thing for us to trade, because you will never know it's a contracting flat until after the fact. That's the only pattern that you can only confirm after the fact. So what we're getting here, we will know today. I don't think this is it. If that is it, any flag we get on the downside here would be a sell, right? If we don't get a flag and they get a consolidation here, that would be much better for us. What I would like to see is a consolidation here. This consolidation would be the next big move down. So hopefully we don't have any trade in silver today. Let's hope that. Let's hope we don't get any trade in silver today, tomorrow, maybe the whole week. I wanted to consolidate here for the rest of the week, because a consolidation like this would give us a perfect trade next week to the downside, and a very big trade, which means a very big impulse to the downside. Let me show you what I mean by that. I will not even take this one, because remember that one, we didn't think it was going to break the top. We thought it would break this top. So I'm going to give you one where we knew that once you get that, you're going to drop. So this might be a good example. When you get something like this correction up and you get a flag here or a correction, this could be a trade we sold. We actually got that trade done, right? So that is a trade you can get. When we had this one, I think it was this one here, on the way up. With this one, we bought this, that was break even, and then we bought this one. You get a move up like that after you get a consolidation like this. So if we get a consolidation like that here, we will be looking for this trade down to the low. It could be very fast like this. It could be a little slower like this. But that would just give you a number of trades, maybe 5 or 4 trades to the downside. So let's see which one it is. We really want that consolidation. That would be the key. What if it doesn't consolidate? What if it just makes a small correction in beer? Well, it's already not going to be a small correction, because this is already making impulses to the upside of this range. So that is, even if they make its correction like this to drop, it's not small. We're waiting for that correction and then the downside. Can it actually go back up? It can, but when I'm looking at this, I don't think this is going to go back up in one move. When I'm looking at this sharp move down, I don't think it's just going to reverse back like this today. Right? That's possible, but if they start to do that, then they're going to come back here, and then they'll have to at some point do this and do this and do this and then go. Right? If you understand wave analysis, that's how it's going to work. Rarely you would see them just do a sharp move and reverse it and keep going. Right? That's unless this sharp move was of a move previously that was a running flat. Right? It's not there. So since it's not there, then we'll have to say that's not what it's doing. So we'll wait for this correction here. Sorry, take this out. Wait for the correction here, and then we'll sell. Gold didn't go up as we told you. It's not going to go up, but I was looking for this to probably just go back to this level and then drop. That didn't happen. So if that didn't happen, what you're looking for is a running flat. If they didn't break out of this and they were just going to break the top and come back, Right? If they didn't do that, then this move is left here, and we don't know. I don't think that is the end of this structure. It could be. We spoke about that possibly. Because all they needed to do was break this top. So if that is the end of this structure, and this is a very slow move down, which I explained, sometimes they get that. Now you look for your sell setup. You can't sell this here. And even if you sell that there, you're back at square one. Right? So what you're looking for is let them break out of that structure. Let the slow move finish. Make a fast drop. Wait for a consolidation here. And then we look for a sell. So if this gives a consolidation here, we'll assume that this entire piece is finished. And this consolidation is going to go down. That is if we get a consolidation there. Can it actually go back to the top? Can this actually work its way back to the top? Yep, that is possible. We will go with all of this as the bigger correction. That is also a possibility. When you're making corrections like these, that possibility exists. That is why the consolidation here is the key to selling. Right now, it looks like very much they're consolidating. It looks very much like a consolidation. It looks like a sell we might get. I would warn traders, those who are especially not very seasoned traders, which means new, about trying to sell this early. Because this could drop like this and go back up like that. You might get a few like this before it actually drops. And you would have to have the skill level to get out of that without a loss before you end up getting yourself in trouble. So watch for the setups you normally trade. So whatever the setups are, whatever your strategy is, how you're going to manage it. We use our own strategies in our trading room. We don't share that here. So whatever your strategy is in the trade, if you see a setup that works with your strategy, you can take the trade. You know how to manage it, right? So we'll be looking for that sell setup. Once this consolidates, I don't think that's all the consolidation. I think it's going to get bigger. Euro came down a little, and like I said, we're not keen in the sell on the euro, even if it breaks the low. We're not keen in the sell because this sell at some point will have to go back up like that. So at some point you would have to get this come back here and then drop. Right? This would be more of a running flat pattern. That's the one we're looking for. I don't see this going down. As a matter of fact, I see the possibility of it going back up. This piece here looking like an upside, and that might even be worth taking a buy on it. If we get a flag there, we might even buy it. Not that this is the one that is going to go, because this one could just be a short one, which means this could just go there and then come back for a deeper correction and then go. But we will be able to manage our way out of that trade for positive break even if it doesn't go. But if that is the one going, we want that trade. So we're still looking for this, except we're looking for it from this point here now. Could that still be a sell setup? Yeah, maybe. I'm still not selling it. That's simple, because unless this is proven to me that that is all, I don't see that structure, then I'm not selling it yet. I'll wait for a 4-hour correction before I sell. Pang, we sold. We sold. Some of my traders got it for break even because they were in front of the computer. They saw it coming back. They put it to break even. That's okay. I'm still in the trade because my stop is still there. All our stops are still there on this trade. So I'm still in the trade, but I will close for break even, which means I was asleep when that happened. It was here when I went to sleep somewhere here, and it was doing well. So I was like, okay, it's going to go. And then it comes back here. Okay, if it comes back here as a correction, two things: either they drop like this again, or they come back and they correct here. If this becomes a correction, I'm closing my trade for break even, and we're looking for a buy setup. Right, which means they're just going to make another new. Why would we buy this now? Because the risk to reward is good. Buying inside of this here or inside of this here was not good. You don't have good risk to reward. Now that they're outside, if they consolidate here, they'll go to retest the top. So you would get that trade with a stop here and an entry here. So that's a good risk to reward trade. It's still going to go down. On the big picture, in the daily 4 hour, we're still expecting it to go down. If this drops really sharp, if it drops sharp, well then yes, I would just go, stay with the trade. So let's see if they make some they'll consolidate here for a while more. So I'm not going to be losing this trade. If I take it off, I'll take it off for like 5 or 6 pips. Literally, I can put the stop above here, which is what I might do after I close, put the stop here. Because once it breaks this level, it's going up. I don't want to be in the trade, right? So if the stop from here will go there, that's for now, temporary. But basically, I'm aiming at closing it for positive. And then see what happens. That's how you manage your trades, right? Aussie, we did not sell the Aussie. And I explained in yesterday's short webinar why we did not sell the Aussie. Because this, in this structure, will have to go back up like this, give you a flat here, and then go down. So I can see a possible short trade here in the Aussie, which is why I think also Pound might go up some more and Euro might go up. I see that possible short trade there and then downside. Now, there's only one trick in this. Just what if this is a contracting flat? Remember, some of them do make contracting flats. If that is a contracting flat, this is going to go straight out of that. So we will consider the buy in Aussie. We already discussed that in our trading this morning before I started the webinar, that we will consider the buy in Aussie as soon as we get a consolidation here, because there is, if that is a contracting flat, this is going out straight. If not, we're going to come here and then come down. That will be enough to give us break even, which means to exit the trade without a loss. Let's see if that happens. I like the Aussie buy. Remember what I said, we like the Aussie buys. We will take all buy setups we get, because one of them is going to go out. If this comes here and come back, it's going to go out. If this consolidate, drop and go back, it's going to go out. One of these are going to go out really big. Which one? I don't know. You don't need to know that either. The point is not knowing exactly which one. The point is, do you have a setup for a buy? And do you see a big move in there? Well, then you should be buying. That is how it works. Right? It's not about, okay, I'm going to wait for, I don't know what it's doing, I'm going to wait for. We know what it's doing. It's going to go up eventually. So every buy setup we get, we'll take the trade. And then we'll see what happens with that. We'll manage our way out of that trade. New Zealand going sideways. I told you about this one yesterday. I'm not sure whether I said it in the small webinar or whether I elaborated in the first webinar, which was not recorded. My apologies for that already. This one here is making a flat. And when you're making a flat like that here, you're likely going to come here and go right back up to this top. Because now you're getting this flat. 1, 2, 3. And there's a good chance we're coming back and somebody's microphone is open. Somebody's microphone is open, guys. One of your microphone is open and we're getting some background noise. Okay, let's go. Those are my traders in the trading room. I'm recording from our trading room. Just we use Zoom for the trading room. And we were in there discussing. I have another channel where I do these recording, but since I was in the trading room, I can record it from there. You don't get to see the trading room. You're seeing my screen, which I was sharing in the trading room. So the rest of the traders are there. That's the background noise you're hearing. Let's go. We're looking at this, and what I'm looking at is that at some point it could come back here. So if we get any sell set up here today, we'll take it. Can it actually take off? There's a rare chance of this taking off. That is if you look at a pattern like this. Let me take this off. If you look at this as a contracting flat, I think I may be getting into technical things here that some of you guys might not be aware of, and I really don't want to bore you with this. If you look at this as a 1, 2, 3 for a contracting flat, then this could literally take off as a new wave of its own. If I get a buy setup here, I don't think I will take it. I will take the buy setup on the Euro and I'll take the buy setup on the Aussie. I wouldn't take the buy setup on this one. So this would go without me. I'll still get the same trade because if it's a dollar movement, I'll get the Aussie or the. All right, so there isn't a buy setup here for me because I don't like, there are many reasons. I'm not going to stress all of that here. Right? These are the details we do in the trading room. So I'll go very fast. I'm not buying this. Simple. If there's a sell setup, I will sell it. So I don't know it's a contracting flat. It looks like one, but I don't know that. So I'll wait for that. Let's go. Swiss. We bought the Swiss and we closed the Swiss. So I closed for very small trades, very small profit somewhere in here, somewhere in this sideways because I was going to sleep and it didn't give me enough pip to keep it. So I'll just close it and we wait. It looks like we're making a bigger consolidation here, which means downside, sideways, some more down, sideways, some more down. It might be a bigger consolidation here. And then I think we will continue to go up. I don't see them turning as yet. I don't. If we do get a sign that they're turning, we'll look for sell sellers, but I don't see that. I think it's more of a consolidation going on here. So they'll probably consolidate here. And if you consolidate here, we'll buy again. One of these will move very far and very fast. Right now, they're not moving very far and very fast. They're moving slow. Right? So when they move slow, you get out of the trade and you wait for the next setup. That's all. You don't have to keep it. So with that, we have rules that say we shouldn't. So let's see where it's going to go. It's consolidating. We'll see. We don't have any trade setup right now. There, it's a small sell setup, but I'm not sure. We'll look at that in the trading room. Yen. Yen, we also bought. Some of my traders even managed to close theirs for very small. Well, we bought it here yesterday live in the room, in our trading room. We bought that live. It went up a little, came back, went up back, and I closed mine here. Again, I was going to sleep, and there wasn't enough profit to put it to, to put it to break even or to keep it. There was, I think, 10 pips, something like that. Whatever I got it to 10 pips or something. So I closed that. It's break even. I call those break even trades because the target is not this. The target is way at the top. What I'm looking for is, can I get an entry into this that I can put the break even and leave? Right? I need it to go, move 20, 40, 50 pips away from the entry so I can put it to break even and leave it. Because there's a bigger trade in this. I showed you that already, right? So right now it's coming back. This was a sharp one. It's smaller than this. So I am not sure that belongs to that for the running flat. This, if this drops here, we could consider this the running flat. And this could break out. So we will wait to see whether it drops or whether it breaks out. If it breaks out, we're buying. If it breaks out, I'm buying. So I'm looking for buy setups. I'm not looking for this sell setup if it drops a little. Yen, we're looking for buy setup. Again, I don't think yen, it might consolidate. I want it to consolidate bigger, if that is possible. And then we'll look for buy setups. We're not looking for sell setups as yet. There is no sell setup in that. CAD might give you the best buy setup you want because you've got a very nice flat here. They came down, they did this. We spoke about that when they came so low. It looks more like a flat, but they went up, they came back down. You got more of this. A running flat, you went back to the top, you're coming down, you probably come down, break the low, and then we look for buy. That's it. Let it come a little more here, break that low, and then we're looking for a buy setup. We'll see. Right? A little down here, and then the buy. Aussie Swiss. It's going to be more downside. It's going up right now. There's a trade probably to the top here. You can see this. But when they go like this, most times they will drop again before they go back up. It is still going to go back up. It's going to be a bigger correction. Do we have a buy setup here to break that up? I don't see it. I don't see anything there. It's just going slowly. Aussie Yen. Okay, this one we anticipate this is going to come down back. It came, but it didn't break the low, right? So if you took the trade, you got out somewhere here or somewhere. In any case, you got break even. Let's put it break even in that trade because it didn't go where you wanted it to go. What is it doing right now? Let's put this. Let's assume this is the flat in the middle. And this is going back up. Then they're actually coming back to retest this top. And when they retest that top, then we will know where we're going, right? We're coming back to retest this top first. You're going to get a 1, a 2, and a 3. And then from there, we'll see, is it going down back or is it going to continue to go? Is this all the correction? Sorry. Is this here all the correction? If this is all the correction, this one is going to take off. All right, let me see if I can draw that again. Here it is. If this here is all the correction, then this one is going to take off. But if this comes to the top here, stop and go back down, we're just going to have a bigger correction. That's all. We're still in the corrective structure. So let's take this off for now because it didn't come all the way to the bottom. We might be looking for a buy setup here today. And I like the idea of a buy setup because one, it has a yen in it. Right? So remember, we bought somewhere in one of these here. I can't remember this one, I think, where we got out for breaking. So we'll look at this. This is a flag. If this makes a flag here, we're looking for this trade to break the top. Let's see if it does that. That's the trade we're looking for. Aussie CAD. Aussie CAD, we bought this. We got out of that. I think slightly. I closed mine a little higher for some profit. Some of my traders managed to get break even. No problem. I said when it comes back to the low, we'll look for buys again. Well, right now, there is no buy setup. Right? It looks like it's consolidating, might even go down a little more, which means it might even do this, and then we'll look for buy setups. So we will be looking for buy setups to the upside, not the sell setups. This is a big consolidation. Guys, this is your opportunity to buy, not to sell, not because it's going down. You're looking for an opportunity to buy. Let me show you like 20 of those before I go very fast. I can do that in a split second, right? Here is one. When it comes down to these low, is your opportunity to buy. Here is another one. See that one? When it goes up like this and it comes to the top, is your opportunity to sell. Here is another one. This is a bigger one. It's not similar. Let me look for one that is similar to that. Oh, here is you're going to find a lot of them here now. Here is another one. See this? When you see this and they come up and they break the top, it's your opportunity to sell. You see that as your opportunity to sell. When you see this bigger one here, when it goes up to the top and break these tops is your opportunity to sell. See that? This is a very big one, so I'm not going to go into this because this one is huge. See that? That is huge. And that came down. So what you're looking at is when you see this and it comes to the bottom and it breaks the low, that is your opportunity to buy. Not necessarily this is the one that will go out. We bought it. That wasn't the one that went out, but we will buy it every time because it could come back to the top, drop again, come back to the top, drop again, come back to the top, drop again. Remember what I said. These are your buying opportunities because one of them will do that. These will give you small profits, right? They will give you small profits or break even. We took break even from it. But the bigger one is the one that will make your account grow, that will give you money, right? So we bought this, we got break even. No big deal. If we get another one here today, we'll buy it. By the time it comes here, we might get small profit, or it goes down back, we get break even. The one that breaks out is the one we want. That will be the one you keep, and you'll be adding trades to that. So today we're looking for a buy opportunity in the Aussie CAD and the Aussie Yen. What is the Aussie Swiss today? Also upside, but not a buy for us. See, also upside, but because the structure is different, I'm not focused on the buy on that one. That might be the one that moves more than the rest. But hey, I'm looking at the patterns. That's what I trade. And this pattern is telling me you want to be a little careful with this one. Aussie, New Zealand. That is the sell. And I think one of my traders only sold this and another one sold here yesterday in the trading room. I'm not selling this as yet. I don't like trading this pair. It doesn't work with me. But they're sell setups. If it makes another flag, sell again. Again, I don't think that's the big move to the downside, right? But if this is the start of the top to the downside, let's assume for a second. Let me just show you the whole big picture of this. I think I did earlier. If this is the top, let's assume this is the equivalent. Let's assume that, this here is the equivalent of this. And we completed the pattern at this point. In that case, it will be a running flat because we broke this low. And this is the one coming down. We will go very far down, or we will break this low at least. So if you get flags, you can sell, but I don't think so. I really wanted this to go a little higher here and then go down. I want it to be pretty much equal almost. Well, it's not equal, and they don't have to be equal. There's no rule that says it has to be equal. So if you get sell setups here today, you can go with it. That turned out to be a very good trade. This turned out to be a very good trade. So if you get a sell setup here, it might turn out to be a very nice trade. Euro Yen. So I told you we sold here. It didn't go well. We closed it for break even. We probably closed a little too early, but we will always do that. That's the rule that says close it. It's coming down. We saw this and we said, okay, forget about the sell. Let's look for the buy, right? It's coming down to this area. By the way, if you guys want to remember what we talked about this, you should go. I want you to go and look at this date. What was that date? Give me let me just do this for you guys, especially if you're watching this webinar for the first time. It's important that you understand how patterns work, and it might help you in your trading to understand why we do what we do. So let's take this date. That was the 28th of January. Was I doing webinar for you guys on the 28th? I think I was doing webinars on the 28th, right? So I want all of you who are seeing this, 1,000 plus more of you, and share it to another 1,000 plus people. Go back to this and remember what I told you. When we see this pattern here, and we see this, the way it's going, this, we're going to come back for this. Even if I'm right only about that part, isn't that amazing? Forget about everything else. If I'm right only about that part, when we are here, I'm telling you this is going to go up, but then it's going to come back down here. Just that part. I didn't see all of this. Just that part should amaze you. If it didn't amaze you, then you're probably you're one of my traders. You're one of the seasoned traders. We're not amazed by that. We will be amazed when we get this one going up. When we get that going up, that is the trade we're looking for. We're looking for this one. So when that goes up there and we complete this pattern, we're expecting it to come down. Can it come down from this point here and not that? I don't see the reason why it would do that. Right? I don't see that pattern. I see it going back up and then coming down. Those are patterns that we know. We've seen them. So I could see this going back up. It doesn't necessarily have to break this top. It could break the top, but it doesn't have to break the top. It just have to be very similar to that. Then we'll say that is okay. Can this drop down? It can, but rare. That would be rare. I don't see a contracting flat in here. So that's why I don't think it's going to drop. We're looking for a buy setup. We're no longer looking for the sell. We're looking for a buy setup. So if we get a buy setup today, we will take the trade. See how simple it is? That's how simple this thing is. Now, you have to learn all the patterns to know that. That's the only way you can, with confidence, say, okay, I see this is going to go there, come here, and then go there. And you actually can put another one. Once that is completed, we are actually expecting it to do this because that is how these patterns behave. Is it going to do exactly that? Sometimes they don't. 10% of the time they don't. 90% of the time they do. Euros consolidating, and if this consolidates here all the way in this big consolidation, we might get one more up. Right? It looks like a big consolidation for one more up. Let's wait and see. Euro New Zealand, this came down. You see those arrows? They're there. I think our first sell got missed. Our first sell was here, and that actually went back, came down. This running flat I missed. We didn't see that. That was a running flat. This should have gone a little more up. That we were looking for that running flat, but I missed it somehow. I missed that one. I don't know if any of my traders saw that. It didn't go as big as that one, but I think that is it. We can conclude now that that is the running flat. If we get flags here, we're going to sell because we know where it's going. So if we get a flag there today, we're looking for a sell back to about this level. Why are we choosing that level? Oh, I see that. It doesn't have to go there, but I get it. We assume it could get to the 618s, 61.8. It's already 270, and this is a point from where they can turn. So would this thing go back up? Why would it go back up? Well, it's going to go back up, and I think I showed you in the big picture why we think it's going to go back up. Okay, somebody else just log on. You mute your microphone, please. Come on, somebody, microphone just go. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Let's go. Yep. I think, okay, there's too much information for you guys here. We could come much lower. We're going to expect this to go back up and come. You see, I just opened it and forget we were doing this in the trading room, so you got a lot more information than you should have gotten, right? So let's go back to where we were. I'm not going to explain all of that here. That's a long process. Yeah, and now I see why we're expecting that. So it could go a little more, right? It could go a little more down. And let's see if we get a trade set up, we'll take the trade. EuroCAD. Let's see where we are. It's coming down. I don't see any. It's going to retest this low. Now that it's coming down, they'll probably retest this low. And we're still in this big consolidation. We're still in this big. So when it comes here, we'll probably just wait and see. It's not the best, but best pair to trade. It moves really. This was a buy. It didn't go to the top. This could don't go to the low. It could just make a correction, stop short, go back up. So probably stay out of it. They're in a consolidation. This is what I'm trying to say. See, this one didn't drop. It stopped short, go back up, and then you get a more complex pattern, right? So this one makes a lot of complex pattern that are difficult to trade. Euro Swiss didn't break out, go back up. Let's see. Are we going back to retest the tops, which are these tops? I don't think so. Let's stay out of it for now. But if it's going to come down, if it starts to come down from there, we can look for a sell setup. We don't have any sell setup right now. Euro pound, nothing here. We didn't break out. It came down back. Let's see if we're going to get the upside today. No, unlikely. Unlikely you're going to get the upside. As a matter of fact, you might get a smaller downside. See this here? You could get one more down like that, and then we'll see if we get the up. It's just making smaller downside. They're not tradable. Well, they're not tradable. I don't think you want to trade it. Pangos going sideways. And let's see what happens. We're looking at this to see whether it's going to get all the way to the top here for a bigger structure. I showed you that yesterday, that bigger triangular looking structure. So expanding. If this is a running flat, so this could be a buy setup here today to the top. Right, that is a running flat. Running flats normally go in the direction of the same thing you're doing. That's running flat. Second one is it could be a channel. Channel normally breaks to the downside. So if it's going to channel for a while, channel takes more than a running flat. So if it channels like this, then it's going to break. But if it's a running flat, it's going to take off. We can look for a buy setup today. Let's see if we get it. Pound New Zealand, that didn't go up. We were expecting this to go up some more. This piece to break out. All the New Zealand trades had this setup where they were supposed to go up first and then come down. We're looking for that possibility, right? Go up first a little, then come down. Well, it dropped without going up. So when that happens, you have to go back and look. Was there a contracting flat somewhere in there that we missed, right? Because that's the only, we have this sharp one. And if you get this, 90% of the time you get that. One out of these could come, or one of these to the upside could be part of this as a contracting flat. We never looked at it that way until it dropped the other way. It could still be a running flat in play. The reason we don't look for the contracting flat, because if you take a contracting flat, assuming it's not going to go, you will miss the buy, and then you will get into a sell that will stop here and go right back up and then come. Right? Even if they break the low, they can still go back like this and come. We will get a running flat pattern. And that was something we can't exclude, the possibility for a running flat. So it's right now it's open, either a contracting flat or we're making a running flat. If it comes back very sharp like this, we'll look for sell setups. If it makes a flag here, we can sell this from that point. If it comes back there, we look for the sell setup from here because we're going to have a big running flat here. Right? So which out of those two? I don't know. We'll wait and see. We just have to wait to tell us. Big picture is downside. I've told you that from the very start, that this big picture is downside. So if we get a sell setup here today, we'll sell it. If they pull back and then we get a sell setup, we'll sell it. So we're looking for that sell setup and then we'll take the trade. Pound Swiss, finally we got it to the top. So the question is, where is it going to go from there, right? We're consolidating, they can go more. They're consolidating here, that's a buy setup. Why that's a buy? Because when you break that top, you can go all the way to this top, right? The idea is to break the top, that's the minimum. And that's how important that is, because now it tells us, hey, you broke the top, you have requirements for a flat is there. How high would this impulse go? I don't know. You can trade it until it stops and turn, right? So do we have a stop and turn? Nope. I think we're still going up. As a matter of fact, I can see this is a small running flat or contracting flat and one more up. And then it can keep doing that for a while. So now you can buy until it's finished, it turns, and then you can stop. Pound Yen, probably one more up too. This is looking like a contraction, like a flat in the making for one more up, right? Pound Yen, if it consolidates a lot out of this structure, more of a 4-hour consolidation out of this structure here, I would consider buying. But it has to stay there longer enough. Because these small ones, they can just stretch it a little and stretch it a little, and then they will drop like this. Most times it's a running flat. Most times you get a running flat. Like I said, there's only one piece here that we are still considering which part it belongs to, how we look at this, and that is this part. Is this the running flat? Because if that is the running flat, then this would do two things. It would either drop lower or it will go up higher. So you can take buy setups, right? This one could continue to go, or you might end the whole structure at this level and come back right back down. Which of those two? I don't know. We don't need to know that. We just take the 1 hour and wait to see which it gives us. I'm more convinced that it's a bigger running flat right now, right? That not this is the flag. This part is making its own bigger correction, and this belongs to that part. We will see which one of those two it develops. When you have all of these pieces that are with sharp waves in them, especially with sharp waves in them, you can get numerous amount of running flats in each other. Bigger ones and bigger ones and bigger ones. So we'll wait to see which it is. Right now, it's not giving us a sell setup as yet, but if it does give a sell setup, we will sell. Any sell setup I get from the top, I'll take. Pound CAD. Good sell setup, right? So we are in that pound CAD sell. I told you guys that yesterday. And right now it's standing at break even for me. So it's about 37 pips, 37.4 pips up. And it's at break even. Why am I keeping it at break even? Remember, there's a chance it could still go break the top, right? It doesn't have to. But watch this one. See, they still go back up. So I put it at break even. If this continues to go down more, I'll stay with it. But if they're going to turn to go back up, maybe I'll move my stop a little more, get 5, 6, 7, 10 pips out of it, probably. And then we would look for the buy setup to break this top. But if it's going to go down from this point without breaking the top, without breaking that top, then we can look for a possible running flat, right? Because we broke this low. No, contracting flat. I think I have to check it again. Let me take this off. Contracting flat. We look at it as a possible contracting flat because we didn't break the top and we didn't break the low. And then this could come down from that point, right? I don't know that it's a contracting flat, but the sell setup was great. We're still in the sell setup. We'll see how that goes, right? It's not changing anything as yet. It's still going down. If we get another sell setup, we'll add a second trade. We don't have another sell setup as yet. New Zealand yen. We were expecting this to come down here first. All the New Zealand trade yesterday, right? They had patterns that were supposed to go this way. We were expecting this to come down, at least break this low, and then go up. Right? If you're looking at this as a 1, 2, 3, and a 1, 2, 3, break that low at least. Or we were expecting come back here and then go. Well, it didn't do that. It actually short, and that is where the contracting flat comes in. Right? Because there is an impulse that started, but the impulse didn't go beyond the low. Right? This impulse started to go down, but it never broke out of this. It just stopped short here and go back up. You have to go with a contracting flat here. See? Because you've got the 1, 2, 3 in the middle. You've got the 1, 2, 3, but it never break the low. Once they break the top, we confirm there's a contracting flat. Right? In this case, that's confirmed. That's a contracting flat. Now, the question is this going to take off? Let's take this off. Is this going to take off to the upside? And this is all the correction? Either we looked at this now, this is all the correction and this is taking off, or we can always come back and say, well, this is going up, but it's going to come back as a tree wave and then go for a bigger correction. And we have seen many of those patterns as well. Right? We've seen many of those bigger patterns where they take off. Let me see if I can find one here. Where they took off and you thought, well, okay, that's the end of it. And it comes back to be a bigger running flat. I think we have one. That's why I'm trying to look at it. Not on this chart. We have it in I think we have it on the Aussie chart. So I'll find it sometime and show you. We have it in the Aussie chart, I think, where there's a big one where they come back, make a running flat and go. Anyway, don't worry about that. So I don't think it's a takeoff because it's pretty sharp. You can see, right? It's pretty sharp. And if you look at all the charts, look at these flats. They're pretty huge, right? They're not that sharp. So I don't think it is, but we'll see. If this is going to continue to go, every flag you get, you can buy. But just put it to break even in case they do come back and then go, giving you a running flat pattern. See? So we'll see it. We'll see when it's coming. You'll see it coming. If it's coming, you get it for break even. If it gives you a flag and you're in the trade, you get break even. So what you need here to buy now is you need a flag. We don't have any flag for a buy as yet. So unless we get that, we can't take the trade. New Zealand Swiss. This was an upside because this was going and you already had this expanding flat in here. Right? This was a clear upside. We spoke about that. We said just watch it carefully when you're breaking the top. Now any pullback here would be a buy. That's a continuation pattern. New Zealand CAD. This one came down. It went up. It came down. You got this flat here. Now, I think we can look at this whole piece here as a bigger flat, for that matter of fact. And it's going up. So just look for buys again. Wait for flags. Wait for buys. Wait for a flag. Make a flag buy. Any flag you get now would be a buy setup. CAD yen. So take this off. I think we can look at this piece as the flat. This piece is a bigger one in here. I believe this belongs to this flat here, with this being an expanding flat in the middle. That's very possible. Which means if you get a flat here, you look for a buy setup. If you get a flag, look for a buy setup. Right? It's still going up. Let's see where we are in the bigger picture. Just be careful of the way it's going up because this has a lot of pullback in it. This piece here has a lot of pullback in it, and this has a lot of consolidation. So it's going up, but the buys are very, very dangerous. There's a lot of reason why that buy might not go very far. So if you get the buy and you take it, be careful. If you get a sell, we'll definitely take it. CAD Swiss, nothing here. I think we were looking for some kind of a buy there. I don't know what that was for. Let's see where we are in the bigger picture. No. Oh, that was a sell on this one. That sell there. That was it. So from the sell of this piece going down. That trade is finished. We're retesting the top. Let's wait and see. If they retest the top, then we'll be looking for more bigger structures in here. Just bigger corrections. That's all. CAD Swiss. Swiss yen. Downside. Look for the sell setup. Let's go into 1 hour. We were looking for the break of this. If you took the break of that, you close the trade, put the entry under the low. It's still a valid sell setup. Let's see, silver going down. Wait, don't buy, don't sell this at the bottom there. I don't think it's worth selling it here, especially when it's coming like this. So we wait some more. Oil took off. Oil didn't, we don't have a complete, well, I don't see a complete structure in here, right? So we've got this, we've got that, and we've got this. We still don't have this piece. If we consider what we're doing here is that. So at some point, this thing would have to come back here and then go. Right? It would have to make a sharp drop and then reverse. Then I could see this happening. That would make sense. So let's see if we get that. It's rare that we will not get it. Most times you do. Let me give you an example. Here is a good example. You got this. Right? Then they start to do this. See what happened? They took off. You would think that breaking that top means it's going up, but look what happens immediately. They drop, complete this pattern, and then go. Why does it do that? Don't ask me, but it does that most of the time. When you see the way it's structurally going, you see that happens. I can't see this as a complete one as yet. Maybe something in here I'm missing. I'll have to relook at this piece in here, whether I'm looking at this piece correctly in here, whether there's something else at this point. For this up move with that one and that down move with this one, I still don't see that here. So we'll wait and see. But here's what I could tell you how you're going to trade it until we get that. If it consolidates here, if you get a lot of consolidation here, take the buy, put it to break even in case they just break the top and drop. Because very likely this move down could happen. It could do this and then go. We'll wait to see whether that, if it goes without that, then we'll come back and we'll look at this whole structure. Because I can't see, I thought all of this was one consolidation. I can't see all these parts in here as yet. Maybe it's there, we'll just have to relook at that. UK oil, very similar structure, right? Very similar structure. We have got this one, we've got that, we've got this, we have this, we got this, and we have this. We still don't have that. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if this drops here and then take off. Now, do we have any sell set up? No. Do we have any buy set up? Not as yet. But if they consolidate more here, if they consolidate in this zone a little more, you will end up with a buy setup rather than a sell. So if you take the buy, again, you're cautioned. Why this pattern is important? Because if you take the buy, you will be very cautioned. That, move your stops because this thing could drop. That's the whole point. Natural gas, okay, they broke out. If you took the trade, you closed it somewhere here. You should, because it was consolidated. If not, you put it at break even. You're at break even in that one, and you took profit in this one. So right now it's going down back. Let's see where we are. We're making a flag for a sell. We're making a flag here for a sell. I think we could sell. We might. Let's see what the bigger picture says. Yeah, you could still go down. If they're reversing this would be just this flat for more downside. That'd just be a correction for more downside. Or we're making a running flat. So you could sell here if you get a sell set up, sell to come back to this level. And then we'll see where it goes from there. Okay, this confirms the bigger running flat we were looking at. Some of our traders took the buy and the flags at this level. If you had 1 hour flags, I believe so. Put it in the 1 hour. We had 1 hour flags that were going up here. I think this was a flag we spoke about in the trading room. Somebody had asked me and I said, well, you can buy above here and just see how far it goes, right? So because you had a flag there, and I said when this flag comes here, put it to break even because you want to exclude this, right? You want to exclude that happening. So if you put it to break even, you bought here and you put it to break even at this level, you're pretty good. And the same would be for all three, right? You buy this flag, you buy this flag here, you put it, when it comes here, you put it to break even because you want to exclude this, right? You want to exclude one more down. Although this one was sharp, so, but still, this move down was sharp. So that was a good one. If you get a consolidation here, you can buy. And the same thing would be for this one, right? If you bought this one here, by the time it gets to this level, you want to put that to break even because you want to exclude this possibility. So if you put it to break even, it's still going up. You think you're doing well, right? It keeps climbing, so you're okay. So we've confirmed all three of those long drawn out running flats, right? We'll break the top, and then you look back at the bigger picture and see, is it going to continue to go or is it going to come down? Right? When they break these tops, they're probably going to go a little more, and then you watch this pattern. Is it a continuation or is it going to turn? Because it can turn at any point in time. Now you can buy to break the top and probably go some more. Find the flags and buy. DAX, also a buy. This was a confirmed buy. We actually called a buy from here. You can buy that at any time because this was a clear corrective structure. This one didn't have the possibility for a running flat in the middle. This one also was a buy. Once we got this, is a buy. It's going up higher. You can still buy. Nifty. Nifty is going without flags. There was a small flag in the making here. This is the only small flag you had. I don't see any flag even in here. Find a flag, find your trade. Tesla coming up back now, so you might get a buy set up here as well. You might get a buy set up here for upside. It's consolidating, so that's a buy. Amazon didn't go down to the bottom. Let's see. Amazon didn't go. It didn't get all the way to the bottom. It's back at the top. Let's see where it goes from there. I still think it might be in a bigger consolidation here. We'll see. We'll relook at this consolidation in the trading room today to see whether it's coming. Because if it's in a big consolidation, it will still come here. Only this time as a running flat. But I'll still leave these arrows to see which one it's doing and how it's doing it, right? So we can see. I don't see this as the takeoff for the big move because we don't have any of these big impulses to complete it. I still think we're in a bigger correction, that's all. SLR, more downside. It's consolidating, and when it's finished, then you look for sell. This one is consolidating here again. So if they start to go so slow like this, then they're going to come here and go back up and then come. It just will make a much bigger, more complex pattern. No trade setups. You can look for consolidation here. If they consolidate at this top, then they'll continue to go. Right? If we get a consolidation there for a buy, we continue. It doesn't have anything right now. Reliance. Okay, can we go back up one more for a more complex pattern? If they go back up one more, expect a three-wave structure. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. If this goes back up, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, and then drop. Right? So let's wait and see. I don't think they're going up. They might consolidate here. We don't have any buy setups. The buy will come if you get a flag. Or I would probably even wait for the correction like this. So let this go, make a correction, and then you look for the buy. Because I don't think it's total upside. It's not upside as yet. And it's most likely going to consolidate more for downside. Okay, Bitcoin went up. It's coming down. It hasn't dropped lower. They're consolidating here. Can we get that much? This didn't go anywhere. They're pulling back deep. I don't think we're making a bigger flat here. So you can look for a sell setup if you get it here. It's a short-term sell. If you get a sell setup, it would be a short-term trade back to this level. Right? So if you get a sell here today, it's a short-term trade back there. If they go above this top, well, I don't think it's the upside as yet, right? So if they go above the top, all you're doing is making a more complex wave here for downside. Look for the sell setup. Let's see if we get a sell. XRP came right back down. Look for this one here. Wait for this to consolidate. And look for a sell setup. We might eventually get the 10 we're looking at, right? So we might see this break down to this level and then go back up. So you're going to get a sell setup here, and then you're going to get a buy. This time you're expecting them to come and break this low. Let me take all of this out now. Come and break this low. Okay, this pattern is completed. Those patterns are completed now. Put this here. So you're expecting this to come back and break. It might consolidate here for a while. I don't think it's coming down in one shot. You might even get a bigger consolidation here. And then that drop. I don't think it should be a very big consolidation. So keep your eyes on it. You might get buy setups first. Short-term buy setups first before you get the sell because they'll retrace some of this. So you can look for short-term buys back to the top and then look for sells. ETH. Okay, this one is another contracting flat here. I believe we're going higher. Where are we going to? Put it in the daily for just going higher with divergence in place. So if you get a flag buy, we'll go with a contracting flat here. That's the only option left, the contracting flat. So if you get a flag buy, if you get a correction buy, LTC going up. This, don't be careful of buys here. It's going up, but this is still in a correction. Let me just take this off. And I'll show you this. We're pretty much in a sideways move. So you went up. This is your big impulse. You went up, you came down, you're going back up, maybe to this level. A little higher than that, and then you're looking for downside. Right? So pretty much like what the XRP did, right? See? Put it in a 4 hour, you'll see that structure. 1, 2, 3 down, 1, 2, 3 up, and now you're coming down. So you're getting the same thing here, except on a smaller version. A little more up and then downside. This is still downside. This has not changed. Even if this becomes a big flat here, which means if this comes back here, drop like this, and then go up, you will still have a big flat pattern here to go with. So you can buy some more of this, but you have to be careful. It's not big. It's not the start of the big move to the upside. And it's likely going to come back down a little. See? So that's all. I think these webinars are a little too long. I will try to see if we can take off some of these charts we're not using. I'll talk to the group and cut it short so we can make it within 45 minutes for everybody. It's a very long one. I don't think you can watch. You don't need to watch everything. You can skip those you don't trade and look at what you trade. But if you do watch it to the end, please share, please help others to see it. All right? So thank you for being here. For the general public, you take care, trade with care. See you tomorrow. And I will continue with my traders in the trading room.